I got pregnant with your husband's child. Sorry for stealing him again.
I can almost see my sister's triumphant face. She would do anything to take a man from me, even get pregnant. But this time, you don't need to apologize. Thank you for taking my husband away from me. My sister knows nothing. Even if she finds out everything and is shocked, it's too late. Finally, love has come to me, who has always been afraid of it. I am getting married to Andy, who works at the same company. I have always dreamed of walking down the aisle as a bride since I was a child. I can't believe the day has come when I can walk this path with someone I love. We vowed to each other, hoping this happiness would last forever. Andy and I were originally in a boss-subordinate relationship. I supported Andy's work entirely, like a secretary. Due to past traumas, I had distanced myself from love and had rejected Andy's confessions several times. I just couldn't take that step forward. My colleagues would say,
"Someone might take him away from you, you know."
But one day, when we were alone in the reference room, I shyly asked Andy, "Is your confession of love still valid?" He gently squeezed my fingers and said,
"Of course it is."
At that moment, I could see flowers blooming behind Andy. As I approached 30, our relationship naturally led to marriage. Despite my happiness, there was one thing that worried me a little. My sister, Laura. It was the meeting of both families. I had heard that Andy's father was not around, so only his mother attended. On my side, it was my parents and my sister. My sister was running late due to work, so we started the meal without her. If possible, I didn't want my sister to be at this meeting. Of course, I had enough sense not to say that out loud. 20 minutes late, my sister Laura arrived. She works for a cosmetics company and spares no effort in her pursuit of beauty. She has an excellent figure. I had heard from my mother that she is currently dating a celebrity hairstylist.
Sorry for being late. Did I keep you waiting?
It's fine. Good job at work. After this minimal exchange, my sister took her seat. To be honest, my sister and I are not on good terms. I prefer to keep my distance from her as much as possible. Emotionally, you could say we are estranged. The reason I have been so hesitant about love is directly because of her. I will never forget that day when she inflicted a severe trauma on me. When I was in high school, I had my first boyfriend. He was recognized for his skills as a candidate for the next captain of the soccer team, excelling in sports and academics. I loved him so much, and every day was filled with joy. One day, a year into our relationship, we were on a date when I realized I had forgotten something at home. I asked him to wait at the station while I went back to get it. Coincidentally, my sister, who was in middle school at the time, was also at the station, heading out to hang out. I casually introduced her to my boyfriend. As a high schooler, I had no idea how terrifying my own sister could be. She never lets her prey escape, even if it belongs to family. My sister was a born predator. I, on the other hand, was like a girl who lived on grass, no match for her. In that brief moment at the station, they exchanged contact information. Once she locked eyes with her prey, it was over. I didn't realize any of this. One day, my boyfriend canceled our date, so I went to the library as usual. But I wasn't in the mood, so I decided to go home early. I'm home. Huh? I was surprised to see a familiar pair of shoes at the entrance. What followed was too intense for a high schooler to handle, especially with a middle school sister involved. Crying, I screamed, "Get out! I never want to see you again." My boyfriend quickly left, leaving just my sister and me in the room. What is going on?
I'm sorry. But I fell in love with him.
Seeing my sister crying and apologizing, I couldn't blame her any further, but I was shaking with anger and couldn't sleep that night. My anger towards my boyfriend didn't last even a day. The next day, he waited for me to apologize and told me the whole truth. He said my sister was the one who asked to exchange contact information. She approached him under the pretense of giving advice about me. They went on a date to buy a present for me, and finally, she made advances on him, which he couldn't resist. "It's too late now," I said tearfully, and he replied,
"You're right. I'm sorry."
And that was the last I saw of him. I hated my sister more than him for ruining everything. She didn't date him for long either. I don't know the details because I never asked her, but I'm sure she got bored once she achieved her goal. Living in the same house with this monster during our teenage years was suffocating. After that, I stopped dating boys as long as my sister was around. Even after moving out for work, I couldn't shake off the trauma, which was unexpected. Nevertheless, my sister showed up at my wedding. I couldn't stay calm. Andy might fall for her too. If the hunter sets her sights, it will surely happen. Despite my worries, the meeting of both families went smoothly. Seems like I was worrying too much. I sighed with relief and then got busy preparing for the wedding. The wedding, attended by many colleagues, went off without a hitch. Although I was bad at romance, I had an unfounded confidence that once married, I could manage family life well. However, a month after our honeymoon, Andy started coming home late more and more often. Even though we work at the same company, we're in different departments now, so I didn't know what projects he was handling. He said he was busy with a big project, and I thought it would settle down eventually, but his late nights continued. Worse, he started staying out overnight. Our newlywed home was dark when I returned. It must be a really big project to keep him this busy. I was genuinely worried about his health. My worries were completely unfounded. One day, while putting away Andy's suit, I found something. No wonder he was late every day. It seemed that even after getting married, happiness wouldn't come to someone like me, who was still haunted by past relationship traumas. That day, I received a message from an unexpected person. It was from my sister, whom I thought I had cut ties with. I didn't want her to contact me casually. Expecting nothing good, I read the message.
Hey, long time no see. I have something to tell you.
I replied as calmly as possible. What is it? I hope it's good news.
Actually, I stole your man again.
Huh? What man? I only have my husband.
I'm pregnant with Andy's child. Sorry for stealing him again.
I didn't feel like responding and just sent back 3 dots. I could picture her triumphant smile. I finally understood how my sister felt back in high school. She just wanted to take what was mine and make it hers, that's all.
Andy is so bold, isn't he? Don't be mad at me, it's not my fault.
I see. You said the same thing back then. That's so like you. I added a lot of laughing emojis. Laura hurriedly called me.
What? What is it?
Andy and Laura, huh? I thought so.
What do you mean?
Yes. What I found in Andy's suit pocket that day was a hotel membership card with a photo booth sticker on it. The sticker had a picture of Andy and Laura. What a foolish husband. No, I quickly realized it was a trick my sister had sent me. I immediately started preparing. The hotel membership card. It was you, Laura, right? You put it there on purpose to let me know. That's something you would do.
Wow. As expected of you. But really, it was from Andy, not me. Believe me.
I don't care who it was from, but I know you sent the message.
Why?
Did she really think I would just sit idly by while she informed me of her ongoing theft? Since we worked in the same department, I knew Andy's ID and password. And this idiot didn't realize that I, for work reasons, naturally knew them. He reused the password for personal use, so if I had any suspicions, I could easily access all the information. And he paid no attention to the login history. All the evidence I needed was in my hands. I had already made up my mind to get a divorce. I had no lingering attachment to a husband my sister wanted to steal. You sent him a thank you message for the souvenir, and then you two went out to eat, right? I don't think it's appropriate to get involved on the first day. But more importantly, do you want to marry Andy?
Oh, you'll break up with him? Well, I'm pregnant with Andy's child, so I guess it can't be helped.
You can have him, that kind of man.
Really? I won't give him back, you know?
You know why Andy married me, right?
Well, yeah.
Yes, you know. I know everything. This is from a conversation I retrieved from his data.
Hey, why did you marry my sister?
Well, men like obedient women.
So, you don't actually love her?
Of course not. She's really convenient because she does whatever I say. Plus, she'll take care of my mom in her old age while we love each other. Isn't that perfect?
It makes me angry every time I think about it. That's right, I'm divorcing that man, so if you want to be with him, go ahead.
Oh, so maybe you were just a caregiver, but I'm not.
With that, she hung up. Now, I had no reason to pretend I didn't know about their relationship. I had no use for this house anymore. I had already packed my belongings, and the larger items were in a storage unit. I had even started looking for a new place. I would be staying in a hotel for a few days, but I would settle in soon. I wanted to cut ties with Andy and his mother, who saw me as a caregiver, as soon as possible. Before Andy came home, I packed my things and left. I filed for divorce through a lawyer. It was a quick divorce, and I also demanded alimony. With plenty of evidence, it was easy. Shortly after returning to living alone, I received another call from Laura. I let it ring for a while before slowly answering. Hello?
Hey. Help me.
Oh, I knew it. That was quick. Laura, speaking loudly and rapidly, seemed flustered.
Andy's mom is a nightmare. Why didn't you tell me?
There was no way I would warn the woman who stole my husband. It seemed she was already suffering from his mother's behavior.
She told me to move in with them since I'm pregnant, but she made me do all the housework, saying it's bride training. She dumped all the chores on me because I'm the wife.
Oh my.
When I cook dinner, she says it tastes wrong and throws it away. She even got rid of the clothes I gave Andy, saying they're tacky. It's unbelievable. She says she knows Andy better than anyone.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Are you even listening? Why didn't you tell me? If I had known, I would never have married him.
You're so brazen, you know that?
Well, what else could I do? Mom and Dad always only paid attention to you. Even though I had a boyfriend, I couldn't stand the thought of you being the only one happy.
Honestly, that's all just her delusion. Our parents never discriminated between us. If my sister, who attacked me out of her own misconceptions, ends up unhappy, it's her own fault. That said, I thought to myself, the trouble with the mother-in-law isn't that big of a deal. I had my own issues with her too. But my sister's shouting continued on the other end of the line.
That's not all. The honeymoon.
A honeymoon after a stolen love? That's news to me.
You got to go to Hawaii, but I only had to go hiking in the nearby mountains. Isn't that awful? And if that wasn't bad enough, why did my mother-in-law have to come along? She was with us the whole time.
My phone must have picked up my laughter because Laura got even more agitated. It seemed they ran out of money, so Laura had a trip within the state, while our honeymoon was the classic Hawaii. Andy had arranged it. It was unusual for him to handle the arrangements himself since he usually left all the office work to me, but I didn't think much of it. When we arrived at the airport, I was surprised to hear a woman's voice calling my name. I turned around to see my mother-in-law. Mom, why are you here?
I invited her.
What? Why?
It's filial piety. She said she wanted to go to Hawaii at least once.
Together? This is our honeymoon, you know that, right?
A trip is a trip. What's the big deal?
Even though I thought it was unbelievable, it was reality. My mother-in-law, without any hesitation, stayed with us the entire time and returned to the US with us. Naturally, I discussed it with Andy when we got back, but the conversation went nowhere. My mother-in-law left without any remorse, saying,
Hawaii was so much fun. Let's go together again next time.
After that, even though I wanted to keep my distance, it was impossible to avoid her when she came over. My mother-in-law couldn't let go of her son. She would often go shopping with him, arm in arm, without hiding it from me. I thought they were a close mother and son, but this was too much. This alone was a significant obstacle to continuing our newlywed life. Adding infidelity and insults to that, it's no wonder I had no lingering attachment to him.
Not only did she come on the trip, but she kept saying how good you were. She kept saying that if I hadn't interfered, she would have had a good relationship with you.
Well, it's not like I was happy to be praised at this point, but I replied to my sister. Well, my condolences. You have a child now, so they won't let you go.
What? Even now, I'll give him back to you.
No thanks. Besides, we're already divorced, so we're strangers now. And don't rely on me anymore.
Wait. You don't have to go that far.
You did something to deserve it. Oh, by the way, I'm planning to claim alimony from you, so be prepared for that.
No way. I'm your sister.
Being my sister doesn't matter. You need to take responsibility for what you've done.
Wait.
Good luck. You can have him. With that, I hung up the phone. My sister might never escape from that family and will likely be used by them forever. But she brought it all upon herself. I did claim alimony from Laura, but since she didn't have a lump sum, she borrowed money from a financial institution to pay me. Naturally, she had to work to repay it, so she started a part-time job even while pregnant. My ex-husband was caught cheating by his colleagues, and he faced cold stares from everyone around him. Eventually, he was demoted and couldn't bear the scrutiny, so he resigned. He tried day trading to make a quick buck, but it wasn't that easy, and he suffered significant losses. I cut off contact with my sister, so I don't know the details, but she's probably still being manipulated by that family. I continue to work at the same place, now without my ex-husband, and recently, I was up for a promotion. It's tough, but I can see my skills improving, and every day feels fulfilling. I can't forget what happened, but I'm sowing the seeds of my own happiness and enjoying my life, so I have no regrets. Dreaming of a future full of happiness, I continue to work hard every day.
How did you like today's story? Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.